Okay, let's begin, shall we? Today is September the 27th, 2022. Where's the year gone? It's just flying right along. In a few days, it's going to be October, and we'll be heading into the fall season. And for us in Canada, the leaves and are beginning to turn beautiful colors. And in 2 weeks, we'll be celebrating Canadian Thanksgiving. And as I promised, I have started a new project or a new series on basically your questions answered. And as I said, I'm going to try to answer interesting questions that I've received from Muslims. And also, I will endeavor to answer questions from Christians if they are relevant to the discussion at hand, or I think that they need to be answered. I will not answer trolls, and again, this will be fairly basic. And if the questions are sincere and we need some follow up, I will try to address that. But it's not exactly a debate. I hope it's more of a discussion, and so that though we may have differences, we won't wind up talking past one another. And so the question I got from this, oh, by the way, before I forget, I did get a question early this morning from Dawa channel on the Trinity, and I do want to work a little. I do want to work on it, so again that we don't talk past one another. But I do intend to answer your question within the, shall we say, within the next week or so. Anyways, this is the question I found extremely interesting because it does come up, and it's really a question that, if we take a look at it, is the person who asked it may be a bit self-refuting. So let's take a look at the question they answered here. So let me just go down to here. We go, and it was just bringing up there. And the question is basically, who is the Son of Man, and what does it mean to sit on the right hand of God? And let's bring. And this was the individual. I do not know whom this individual is. Commander Abdul Halim Mahmoud Nasari. I apologize, my friend, for butchering the pronunciation of your name. And you seem to think this one Bible verse makes it clear that Jesus is not God, and then you quote from Luke 22:69, or make reference to Luke 22:69 in the King James. Hereafter, the Son of Man will be at the right hand of the power of God. What does that mean? I really have to ask you, what does it mean to sit on the right hand of the power of God? It's truly amazing that a Muslim who is trying to refute the deity of Christ would go to such a verse. And I do have to wonder whether or not you took the time to actually read what read the context of which the verse occurs. So let's do that, shall we? Okay. He quoted from Luke, and this is the trial of Jesus. He is before the Sanhedrin, or the Jewish council, and this is recorded in all three of the synoptic gospels. I actually like it better in the Gospel of Mark, but since our friend here quoted from the Gospel of Luke, let's just read it together, shall we? When it was day, the council of elders and the people assembled, both the chief priests and the scribes. And they led him, that is Jesus, away to their council chamber, saying, If you are the Christ, tell us. And he said to them, I have told you, and you will not believe. And if I ask a question, you will not answer. But from now on, these are the words of Jesus speaking, you will see the Son of Man seated at the right hand of the power of God. And they all said, Are you the Son of God then? And he said, Yeah. He said to them, Yes, I am. And then they said, What further need do we have of testimony? You have heard for ourselves from his own mouth. And so they are accusing Jesus of blasphemy. In the other accounts, Jesus is there we go. Jesus is, what is he saying? It's basically that they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds. And this is a direct reference to deity, and to sit on the right hand of God, again, is a direct reference to being equal with God. And so I think it's really, important that when we look at how the Jews understood who the Son of Man was. The Son of Man was a messianic title. And in Daniel chapter 7 and 14, you can see this messianic figure in the presence of the Ancient of Days, and receiving a kingdom that will last forever and ever. The first century Jews understood when Jesus said, called himself the Son of God, that he was claiming a divine title. Now, I hope that answers your question. I've wanted for the longest time to do basically a series in the Gospel of Mark on the high Christology in the Gospel of Mark. And of course, you have, again, in the Gospel of Mark, Jesus before the Sanhedrin. But when you read the Gospels, and again, especially the Gospel of Mark, you see that many references where Jesus says that they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds. Who's the cloud rider? It was a title given to Yahweh, that and Jesus coming in the clouds is basically a claim to deity. I hope that helps. And again, if you have any further questions regarding this, you can PM me. You can respond to the video. This will be both on YouTube. You can go to my YouTube channel, and if hit the like and subscribe, or you just watch it on Facebook. And I'm tempted, but I'm not there yet, of maybe putting it on Twitter. Like I said, my Twitter account is rather small. But again, this is just so that we can, basically have a decent discussion and dialogue. Now, when I said your questions answered, or your what I'm trying to intend is, I don't necessarily ask for an agreement, but I do find that there is just so much misunderstanding between especially Muslims and Christians, that we talk past one another. And what I want is for our Muslim friends to have a greater understanding of what Christians believe, and basically so that we can, so that when we disagree, that we are not, talking past one another and creating strawman arguments. Unfortunately, a lot of the stuff that I see, especially on Facebook, is that there's a deep misunderstanding by both Muslims and Christians about what the other person believes. Again, thanks for watching. Have a great day, and may God bless.